Unless specifically indicated otherwise, the content expressed are my views only and not necessarily those of Life Pro Asset Management, LLC. The content presented is in no way an investment advice, solicitation, or an offer to sell securities or investment advisory services. The material is provided for general information and educational purposes based upon publicly available information from sources believed to be reliable. I cannot assure the accuracy or completeness of these materials. As such, the information in these materials may change at any time without notice. Reference to these discussions about IULs and annuities or fixed insurance products. Investments on fixed insurance products are different from investments in the stock market. Any guarantees provided by a fixed insurance product cannot be assumed to be guaranteed for any other investment.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Jose, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jose.
Hey, y'all. So glad you're back to join us. I'm just going to bring on the Soul Sisters right now. Come on down. We got Karen, Petalyn, Denise. You've seen it before. And if you haven't, go check out our other episodes in our Soul Sisters series. We probably started out pretty professional. We're now in pajamas. And I have zero makeup on. I got a little Burt's Bees lip color because I looked dead. Other than that, we are here, all authentic, truthful self. We love to dish. We love to talk about everything. This group of beautiful ladies, we have been together for many years now. We text on a daily basis. We are even getting videos now, Marco Poloing. We meet once a month virtually. We get together for our retreats. So we know each other pretty well, good, bad, and the ugly. I really try not to call them on stuff that they don't want to be called on to, but I just got told that I would anyways, and they might be right.
You can't help yourself.
I can't help myself. So stay tuned, and if you are live with us, please jump on, ask questions, dish with us, or comment. Juan, our amazing engineer. Thank you, Juan. Woohoo! We love him. He will put it flashing on the screen, and somebody will take that over. So anyways, glad to have you. Today is Little White Lies. I know no one has done that. We've never told lies. We are one. Petalyn's already shaking her head with that little cute smirk. How adorable is that? Oh no, I'm June Cleaver. I don't lie. I am Mrs. Brady.
Comparing you to June Cleaver. Oh my God.
Right? What is Mrs. Brady's name? Marsha's mommy. Right? Little trivia here.
Carol Brady.
Carol Brady.
I'm more like Bewitched's mother.
Andorra?
Andorra?
Andorra. We're going to call you Andorra. I freaking love that. I kind of feel like the ant once in a while. Just pop it in when I'm not supposed to. Okay. Tangent. Okay, so today is on Little White Lies. Do we tell them? Do we tell them with certain people? How do we feel when they tell them? Are we trying to make the conversation flow? Are we trying not to embarrass someone? Do little white lies lead to big white lies? And where do they turn from white to brown or blue or whatever? So I made all that crap up right there. Okay, so definition of little white lies in the Wikipedia and all the stuff that I looked at is just part of society and the social norm of trying to be sociable without trying to be polite and not, being awkward in a social situation. I get that. Do I look fat and distressed? No, you look amazing. I wouldn't say you look amazing if you didn't look amazing. So maybe that's a gender thing. If you can think of one little white lie that you remember telling. Oh, that's a good one.
That's so far back, right?
Yesterday?
5 minutes ago? Whatever. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think myself. Anybody have one that they can remember?
Yeah.
Can you say that again? I'm so sorry. I think I'm freezing up a little bit. I might have to pop out and pop back in again.
Yeah. When was the last time you told a little white lie and what was it? Yeah. You're going to have to pop out, Denise. See ya. Go ahead, Petalyn.
At least you froze on a great smile.
Yeah, you were
Okay, now she's
smiling on the froze.
I'll be thinking about that question. I'll be right back.
We love technology. Okay, Petalyn, what do you remember?
Oh, well, it's kind of a heavy subject. I fibbed
We
to
love
my
that.
mom and told her that I would be going to confession. Yeah.
Is that a little white lie?
It's probably a mortal lie. It's probably more of a black lie. That's true.
Karen's like just laughing in the background, like trying not to say bullshit. That is not a little.
That's true.
Okay.
I guess I can't remember when I told a little white lie. It's because I mostly talk to people who I'm close to, so I don't really lie to you guys. At least not that I remember.
Okay, so here's a question: can you lie by omission?
Yes.
Sure.
Don't you think, Karen?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Is it technically a lie?
Right. Is it technically? Yeah. We're deciding it is now, so we can be the judge and jury. You're in a relationship, Karen. Tell me you would probably have an experience of telling little white lies.
Well,
everybody sees this except Kelly, right?
Right?
Okay. In the past, all of your millions of men and all your hundreds of relationships.
Oh,
how about one?
Oh,
I just
God.
thought of something really nasty, but I won't. I'll text you guys that because it's really hilarious.
Oh, it's not
I
a
love putting her on the
specific
spot.
thing, like it's not specifics, right? And it's like,
was it good for you, honey? Oh yeah, it was great.
Oh.
Thank you, Petalyn. Thank you.
You know what? I don't lie about that shit.
I love it.
No, it's either good, I mean, it's if someone's going to ask that kind of a question, then
you're going to get the answer.
Well, no, but I mean, it's like, well, that tells me a lot about that person. Like, well, it's like,
you should know if it's good for me.
No, because they're not mind readers, but
they don't have to be mind readers.
Well,
body readers,
feline readers,
pay attention, right? No, I mean,
wake up and pay attention.
Yeah, like
okay. So here's one for you. I did this a lot in my last marriage.
Karen, you don't get to answer the question. Clearly.
No. This is gonna spark her. You took too long. Gong. He would always ask me, "Where do you want to go eat?"
Oh, yeah.
And I knew that he loved Italian. And I would always process my brain of, okay, I like Thai food. I like Indian food. I like Mexican food. I like Japanese food. I like everything. I'm over Italian, right? But I would never say that because he didn't like any of those. So my little white lie would be, sure, we can do Italian. I know, I'll find something there. When in reality, I'm like, I'd really like to go get some pad thai right now or something. So I call that a little white lie. What do you think? Codependent, little ishy?
Yes and yes.
Shut up. Next.
Yes, you asked. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not speaking your truth, right? And you're putting, the other person's, and then there's nothing wrong with putting someone else's needs before your own. Obviously, we do that as humans sometimes. It's like, it's not all about us all the time. But, when asked a specific question like that, it's like, if they really want to know, which he probably really did want to know, right? Like, well, then that's a conversation for y'all to have.
Hence, like, I'm single.
Well, but you know what I mean? It's like, do you really want the answer to that? Or do you want me to say Italian?
Oh, and that's a great statement.
Right.
Do you want me to agree with you or not?
Because I mean, then you can be honest and say, but yeah, I mean, was that a little white lie? Probably, because deep down you really wanted sushi or something else, right?
Yeah.
Sushi
so would never be in the question. Well, that's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so then that actually does lend, all of this lends to what I read is little white lies are normally in social activities, not to make someone else feel awkward. So it's not necessarily with us because we're close and we can say it, or maybe even a relationship because you should be able to say it. But in I go networking. So networking or conferences or church or Rotary or something like that. Maybe we're more prone to little white lies of maybe acquaintances or people that we don't know. Does that make sense?
Maybe. Maybe.
When I was younger, maybe, you know, now it's kind of, if I have to lie at this age, you know, to acquaintances, I'm doing something wrong.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that too. You know, it's especially if someone asks you a very direct question. And yeah, that's where you said, like, well, lying by omission. It's like sometimes it depends on the question, though. There's so many variables to that, right? It's like,
and you can rephrase the question,
right? And if someone says, "Oh, do I look fat in this dress?" You know, it's one of those touchy questions, and it's like, well,
like, honey, you look fat all the time, but that dress is awesome.
I was hoping that was going to come up as an example, because I was thinking about that in the past. I have told people, yeah, they look great. And I would never do that now. Now I'm 100% honest. And I would say, well, it's probably not the most flattering thing that you have in your closet.
Right.
Or I might say, no, your butt doesn't look big in that dress or that pair of pants, but the camel toe you got on you. That's gotta go. You gotta trade the pants for something else, girlfriend, because we're not going to be seen in public like that.
Oh, and by the way, change your lipstick color.
Oh my God, I've said that to people. I actually have. I have a friend who does not have a flattering lipstick color on her. It's her favorite one. And I went there because I felt like
that bad.
Does she still talk to you? Oh, you don't
no.
Okay, Denise, you just froze like. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Does she still talk to you, Denise? Oh, darn.
Oh my God. We got to take pictures of this. This is freaking hilarious.
Am I still?
Yeah, you are so freezing.
Quick, say it quick.
Dramatic effect. It's caused a pregnant pause. Called a pregnant pause.
Yeah.
She has to be
okay, if you guys are not on video,
I gotta get my phone now. All right.
Yeah, you do, because you're freaking hilarious.
Oh, man.
I'm like, that's called a pregnancy pause.
No, it's
Oh
okay, everybody. Simon says.
Simon says. Denise said. Oh my God, that is hilarious. Okay. All right. So.
Oh Lordy.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Oh, she really did freeze that way.
That is so awesome. I'm sure everybody else on the podcast is bored as hell, but we're having a blast.
I remember when our mothers used to say that, don't do that because your face will freeze that way. There you go.
Right. The wind will change and you'll freeze that way.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so since we are all perfect and we're old as hell and we don't lie anymore and we don't have any white lies and we're ready to tell the truth, you guys are making this boring as hell. So now let's dive into something a little bit deeper. Just lies in general. Do you know that one person? Okay, let me even back it up a little bit. Exaggerating the truth. Do you have that one friend that exaggerates? Okay, my mom was a huge exaggerator. She is adorable. And she was Pollyanna, which is why she's 90. She'll be 91. And she's still alive, kicking, and happy as hell. Because she's Pollyanna. She doesn't play in this world of reality, of all that. And so the way she would exaggerate, I find myself doing the same thing, right? I'll say something to my kids, only to my kids. And Journey will say like, oh, still not true. Because I'm like, oh, it'll be fine. Everything's great. No, that's not a brown recluse spider. You're going to be totally fine. Totally brown recluse spider. Hospital event and everything. But no, it's fine. You're going to be fine. So how about exaggeration? Do you experience that? Do you recall doing it? Does anybody in your life do that? And does it drive you crazy?
I have had people in my life who do that. I am usually accused of understating what's going on.
Example, please.
Well, like if something's going on with me that doesn't feel good.
Oh, that is
I
very
have a
true. You are a
tendency to
lying sack of shit.
I don't lie. I just understate. But I credit that to my British upbringing. I mean, if you say I don't feel well, to say you don't feel well means
you're going to surgery.
Fucking don't feel well, right? Right. Otherwise, one wouldn't say they don't feel well. So, that kind of thing.
Just went to England there for a moment. Okay, Karen, exaggeration. Do you have anybody in your life that exaggerates?
Yeah, I'm dating a fisherman.
I was gonna say this is the 4 feet.
Big. No, it's this big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so sometimes there's a little bit of like to emphasize a point. I have people in my life, and I think I'm sure I've done it as well. Sometimes I know I have. Where it's like over exaggerating try to make a point, or I'm trying to think of an example. I know you're going to ask for examples. I'm like, shit, I don't have any examples, but
is it that we it sounds like exaggeration because we're trying to communicate a feeling more than a fact, more than a data point?
Ooh, yeah, that actually probably, because it's so funny. I think one of the things that kind of drives me crazy when people say literally and it's not literal.
I know.
That's a whole grammar thing. We could go off on that tangent, but
the sky was literally purple.
Like, no, it wasn't. It was never purple.
Oh my God, you ruined that for me.
It was never green.
So, okay, now I'm gonna ruin something for you.
What don't you like about my outfit? Go ahead, tell me. No,
not you. When they say 100, I'm going to be 100% honest. Why? Are you normally 80% honest? Like, what the hell?
Right.
I'm going to be like, what is that? She's so cute. So I get it. So literally now I'm going to be texting you every time.
Literally now.
So now I'm going to get more texts from your ass. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. I'm bored. So, hey, no one's talking to me this early in the morning, and so I've got to talk to somebody. That's hilarious. Okay, Denise is back. They're boring. They never lie. They're perfect.
Of course they are, and I can barely hear you, so I'm still trying to figure this out.
We got you, though. We got you. So you just let us know when you're ready to chime in.
All right. Yeah.
Last
just give me a second, because I can't.
Yep.
I can't hear you guys.
Can you use earphones?
Do you have earphones?
Yeah. Can you use earpods?
I've got my earpods in.
Oh, you got that electronic stuff that's not good for you. Let's have that.
Did you turn the switch on? No, I'm kidding.
Turn it up. Turn up
frustrating.
the heat.
Oh, there, we hear you really well.
Yeah, we hear you great. Okay, so exaggerating. Okay, so this is when, to me, it becomes a problem. When you can't trust what they say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a big dysfunctional childhood growing up with trust issues and codependency and all of that. So when you don't say, think, and do the same thing, I start questioning. So when you're maybe exaggerating or a little white lying, to me that lends, and then you go and do something completely different than what you just told everybody that you like or don't like, and then you, like, I'm a vegetarian, you eat a steak. Oh my God, my trust is totally blown with you. That brings up all my, oh, they're a lying sack of shit kind of thing. So that's kind of why I thought it would be a good topic, because it does lend into our previous topics. Go check out the other episodes, just saying, with the integrity and stuff like that. So Denise, are you here?
I'm with you.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys can hear me.
What was your last little white lie?
Oh my God, I was so focused on getting back into this call, I didn't even think about my last little white lie. Off the top of my head, though, I would think if I were to pick a little white lie, it probably has to do with not hurting somebody's feelings. Okay, so I got one, which is awful because I hate lying. It's like my big core thing. which
We're
I'm
so different than the rest of us, Denise. So
oh my
We
gosh.
enjoy it. We enjoy
Yeah,
it
you guys
thoroughly.
love it and feed off of it and lie in my face every damn day, right? No, for me, little white, I don't know what you cover already, but little white lies could be a slippery slope. I don't like them. It doesn't feel good whenever I say one. Like, people who knows this about me, I worked really hard to go to mass so I wouldn't tell a little white lie.
Okay,
just this
that's
last
hilarious.
week. Yeah, which we can go back to. But I listened to my niece playing the violin recently, a brand new song for her. And so the little white lie would probably be, you know, at the end of a performance, you clap and you say, "Oh my God, that was amazing. That was so good." And I'm sure I said something to that effect, even though it might not have been so good. Like, it'll be better once she's had time to practice it, but I'm also not wanting to crush her and hurt her feelings as she's learning, right? I want her to keep playing, and she loves playing for Auntie. So
okay, so that is a perfect example of a little white lie, because it's not meant to do any malicious, malintent. It's literally just to be something positive. So that is the true definition of the little white lie. Now let's go into what you said, which we really like, the slippery slope. How is that a slippery slope?
Well, I think it can be a slippery slope, because I think, well, I know my definition of a little white lie would probably be very different from all of yours and everyone else in my world, right? All of my family, my friends, and clients, even people that I know. And there could be gray area, right?
No,
in terms
we all
of
agreed.
you guys already all agreed about. Okay, great. Well, okay, so here's an example, because this came up for a friend of a friend. She was dating this guy, and she asked the typical question. No, this is not me. You guys will know this is not me. I share my shit. Like, I'll share you my stories. Like, I'm all open book with that stuff now, right? Like, there was a time I kept it all hidden, but not anymore. But this friend, her name starts with an S, but she's a friend of a friend who started to date a man and asked the typical questions that you ask when you start dating, right? I've shared this with some of you, I think, before. She asked, you know, do you have a girlfriend? Are you rooming with anyone? Are you seeing other people? Are you married? Are you divorced? She asked all those questions, and he said no to every single question. And then when she later found out that he was married but separated, she confronted him on that, he said, and this is what justified it in his mind, making it a little white lie as opposed to a full-blown manifestation, like a full-blown lie. "Well, you never asked me if I was separated, so I never lied to you."
Bye-bye.
Which is, well, which I know, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but lying by omission, right? Like to me, that's a bye-bye. It's a hell yeah goodbye. But she dated him for a long time because she assumed that the questions she asked him, he was being truthful about. And so, like, well, that to me is a lie. It's not a little white lie, right? But to some people, maybe that is. And that's my point. Like, where do you draw the line?
Great point. That's a great point.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for if two people are showing up with the intention of dating and you're asking each other if they're otherwise committed in any particular way. It's a prime opportunity to be honest about one's relationships, past, present, or future. We all know what we're there for. So if we're gonna, you know, peel the onion or split hairs, then there's something going on beyond. You know, for sure.
Right.
That's a goodbye. That's deliberate. So.
Absolutely.
But you know, I want to suggest.
Is that the distinction, if it's deliberate or not? Because maybe that's it.
No.
Oh, that's better. So. Can see you guys now. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
I like what Petalin said. If you know they're asking, you know what she's freaking asking.
Yeah.
So if you know what she's asking, you need to tell the truth. You know somewhere inside of you that you're lying inside of you. That's a lie.
But see, that's how I feel about little white lies. To me, it's still a lie, and it doesn't feel good.
Well, I don't think any of us are in disagreement with that.
Yeah,
none of us have said that little white lies are okay. I think they still feel shitty. We're still lying to somebody, you know, primarily ourselves. It may even be, and so here's something I want to throw out there. the lie, the little white lie, even if it is a little white lie, we're actually primarily, I think, lying to ourselves, because we'll tell ourselves that we're doing it to save someone's feelings.
True.
I'm afraid that 9 times out of 10, or a high percentage out of 10, we're doing it because we don't feel like dealing with whatever the answer is going to be.
Exactly. And we don't want to.
We
Why don't we want to hurt their feelings? They're asking the question. They're not asking the question for you to lie. They're asking the question because they want to know.
But do they?
But do they?
Well, then they shouldn't ask
Or
the
do
question.
we want to take the time to go through the whole process? It's just easier because it doesn't hurt anybody, and so on. So
right. And so we're really saving.
I'm not talking about you, Denise. You're the exception to all everything.
No, I'm not. I'm not the exception. I'm just filtering it. Thank you, though. That's funny. But I think, there are times when there's a question that's posed and there's not a question that's posed, right? And so that might be a difference, because I do make a very conscious point, and maybe other people listening do as well. I make a very conscious decision when someone's asking me a question as to whether or not how I'm gonna answer it, because I don't want to feel stuck in a lie or trapped in for me it feels awful, like we talked about that, right? I feel guilty. I don't want that, and I don't want to be trapped in a lie or stuck in a lie. Like, that lying does not feel good, and so why would I want to put myself into that? I'd much rather digest the question and answer it in a way that feels better.
I have no time for that.
Well, and we don't have to get stuck in the lie. We can get stuck in the question. We can rephrase the question and answer the question we'd rather be asked.
Yep.
That's relevant.
Right. So going back to the original question, like that we kind of talked about is like, does my butt look big in this dress or whatever? You can just rephrase the question to say, so what is it that you actually want to know? What are you actually asking me? Are you asking me about your butt? Are you asking me if you look good in this dress overall? And are there, what are your thoughts about that? That's a different question.
Do you have a backup plan?
Exactly.
If this is the only dress you bought, you look amazing.
But are we doing the same thing that the guy who answered the question exactly the way he wanted to is doing?
No, because he's not asking the question, what is it that you really want to know? What she really wants to know is, are you truly available? Are you truly free and single? Do you have anything else going on in your world? Well,
he would have said yes to that, because in his mind,
maybe
truly
not
free and single.
Maybe not. Not.
Are you legally, right? Yeah. Like, are you legally bound to another human?
And if he's separated, he might have still said yes.
Well, then he's an ass.
Well, because in his mind, he may feel like he's available.
He does, yeah.
Sure he does, yeah.
But they are legally in that situation. They are still legally married.
Legally, you're absolutely right.
Right.
And so the point of this too is you get to learn from it. You get to learn from it and move forward on how you ask certain questions.
That's
right. Or to your point, Karen. To your point, Karen, you're addressing the friends, like, why are you asking? What specifically are you looking for? Right? And we've done this before, and I've done this with other friends. Are you wanting me to provide you advice right now, or are you wanting me to be a listening ear? Right? Because they're very, very different. Yeah, hold the basket, hold the bucket, right? Same kind of thing. Are you wanting me to compliment you and fluff you so we can go out? Are you, blow smoke up your butt?
I've done that.
Great big, ginormous butt that looks horrible in that pair of pants.
You have done that for me. Remember that singles event we went to in Walnut Creek at the Marriott? I said, I just need to know I look good right now. Oh my God, you are amazing. I'm okay, good. Let's go to that singles.
100%.
Because this is the only dress I have. Okay, so here's the question for that is, how do you file your taxes?
Late.
I was just gonna say late.
Are you single? Are you single, married, filing jointly? That's how you know if they're married or not.
I thought you were asking us.
No, I know how you file. Come on, I know that. That's hilarious. Well,
it's actually funny because I was like, this is funny because I put in the TurboTax, I put divorced, but it switches it and makes me single. So I'm like, well, that's not really what I put in. And I've gone back to check. Did I put in single?
Divorce is not a category, my love. Divorce is not a category.
I know,
But a lot of people do ask
what
about
I am.
divorce. Well, a lot of people ask about that, but you know what? I stopped putting in divorce because that's irrelevant anymore. I'm not divorced just because I was married once. I'm single.
Right. That's right.
You know, and it's just like I just refuse to put that in divorce.
And if they put both, then I put single.
Me too. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So
that's hilarious. Okay,
so that's so funny, Denise, that you would go back to check that. Not what I put in.
Like, I don't think I put that.
Because I don't want to lie about it.
Seriously, it's so ingrained. You ladies have no idea, or maybe you're starting to.
Yes, we do.
Okay, then but I was like, church, scouts, family, right? Like, it's in there, you know. Like, thou shalt not lie.
That's Catholic for sure.
Totally.
You'll burn in hell if you lie.
I was a big liar when I was a kid too, so I am doomed.
Oh man.
Did you do your homework? Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say, let's go back to childhood. Didn't we all lie in childhood?
Mm-hmm. Not according to my mom. No, not according to my mom. I was the only one who was a problem child out of all the children she ever knew. Totally. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She's got a poor memory, that woman.
Skewed
her memory slipping. Skewed memory.
I lied all the time. My dad, I have to say, that is the one thing. In fact, I said it at his memorial. That is what I learned from him, was always honesty is the best policy. And I tried to do that with my kids as well. Like when there'd be a moral dilemma, you know, they would come to me and I'm always like, if you can't tell the truth, then you tell them you can't contribute to the conversation. Like always, I don't feel good. I'm going to do this instead of I don't want to go do that, whatever, just always. So when people don't do that, okay, here's a good one.
Is that one of the reasons you're so outspoken, Jennifer? Do you think?
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. And younger. I mean, you guys know me now. Guess how, put a thing of TNT up my rear in the 20s. I mean, oh my God, I was crazy. I was crazy. So I learned how to
temper it.
And not be friends with people who don't understand that I'm going to be honest. Like, don't. In fact, that bothers me.
I can't be friend with people who are liars. I can't do it.
No.
Yeah, not even liars, but lying by omission. Pollyanna, I call my mom. I love her to death, but always looking at the bright side, not looking at reality.
Not going deep.
Yeah. Not going deep, staying superficial. Everything's wonderful. The sun's out. The trees are green. Yeah. And you're facing foreclosure. Like, let's, like whatever it is, but there's, and you know me. And if you don't, go check out the other episodes of Law of Attraction. Plug. But we definitely want to stay on the positive side of the stick for sure. Like, that's always. And there is a reality there. Yeah. It's real positivity. If I'm not really positive, you guys and you ladies know. I mean, I'm going to come to you and say, okay, I've had a rough couple weeks. I'm down. I can't get out of the dumps. Whatever it is, like, that's real. But someone that's always happy.
Look at the bright side. I'm like, look, I don't want to look at the damn bright side right now. I want to be wallowing in this for like about 5 more minutes.
Don't take my wallow away. I'm a pig in mud right now.
Oh, yeah. If I heard it once, I heard it a million times from my mom or my grandma. This too shall pass. I'm like, you know what? Right now I'm in it, and I need you in it with me.
Helps. That's so true. Sometimes you just want someone to commiserate with, because I mean, unless people have a habit of commiserating and staying there. I know with you ladies, it's just like. We're all coaches. We all, know, actually, I think we all pretty much know how to get ourselves out of things. Hi, Luna.
I love her.
But even Luna sometimes will say, enough is enough, and I'm going to bite you.
Right.
But
exactly.
But what I'm going to say is that sometimes you just want somebody to commiserate. I think one of the rarest things among us four and among coaches is just permission to commiserate together. Because we're never allowed to. And so it's like, it's a no-no, right? And it's like for my friends, I don't need my friends to be my coaches unless I specifically ask. I need my friends to be co-commiserators so that I can kind of get the energy dealt with, and then I know what to do, because I'm always going to get back to that particular level of whatever inside of me, but I'm kind of going through a funk, and I just don't want to feel like I'm the only one going through it right now. I want someone to, like Karen said, come be in it with me for a minute, you know? So I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Do you want your friends to, you know, always kind of be the coach thing, or do you want them just to be your friend? And
yeah, if I need a coach, I'll call one of you, or I'll hire a coach, depending for that type of work. But there, you know, from a friendship perspective, or from like a life perspective, there are just times where I want somebody there who gets me, who understands, who can validate my feelings, who can empathize with what I'm going through, and not talk me out of it or anything, just be there so I can process what's going on in that moment at that time. So then I can, you know, move on and do what's next. But sometimes it's just, you know, when you're in it, you got to process it, and you need to be in it, and you need to feel it in order to move through it. Right. And so you guys are so great with that. You know, I've had that recent experience, even just dealing with the crap with my cats, and was like, oh my God, you know, just like, I can't do this one more. And I'm like, you know, almost on the verge of tears in the doctor's office. I'm like, I got to do this again. I can't believe, you know, and you guys were there. And so it's just like, okay, you get me. And then I can just go, okay, now I can go into solutions mode. What am I going to do about this? How am I going to move forward? But it was just in that moment, I needed to process those feelings.
Yeah, because I mean, you, Karen, I mean, we always call in CTI, naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. We're all naturally creative, resourceful, and whole. And I mean, this is our business. This is our code. It's what we do. We know how to do that. But
we're good at it.
We're good at it.
We're really good at it.
It's the luxury of just being able to be in our shit sometimes. You know, that is
that's the humanity. You know, our humanity.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's messy.
I feel like in this world of positivity and Tony Robbins, we passed that step. And it's necessary to have that step in order to get to the next step.
Yeah.
And I think that we're so trying to get out of whatever, like you said, the funk that we're feeling in the issue, to get to the positivity and the mantras and the no. It's like, wait a minute. You can't until you feel this.
Yep.
F word. We have to feel where we're at. We don't got to stay there for days. We don't got to stay there for weeks and months. But we have to feel that in order to move forward. And I think that's what's missing in this new age positivity situation. And speaking me personally, I don't like to feel it alone. I did for many years because I was embarrassed or scared or whatever it was. But now I know that I want to have accountability. I want to have someone, like you said, Karen, you get me. I want to have that. And that is, if I were to get into another relationship, that is why I want a soft place to fall. And I want someone to get me to be able to be that. Here's a question for you, though. When we have that, and then they say yes, okay, like Karen, the cat thing, vet, cat, all the stuff. Oh my gosh, I totally get it. That's so frustrating for you. I don't know how you deal with it. And then when we go into our, or if we didn't, but you know, at another down the road, if somebody else were to go, oh, when I did that, and that's not time for my stuff.
I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate that.
Yeah.
And I get why people do it now that I'm older.
Why? Why do people do it?
Hate it. Well, this is my own experience, so I don't know what you ladies think, but I do know that we are pack animals, right? And we try to find similarities, and we want to be liked, and you know, all that junk, right? Like we want to be like someone and whatever. So what I notice is sometimes people are trying to make a connection, and that's their way of trying to connect. Like, how many of us know that when we say, oh my God, my back hurts, someone else will be like, oh my God, my back hurts too, my neck, and here's all my shit. It's like, can I just have my back pain moment? Like, do you always have to have it with me? You know? But it feels like I hate it, first of all. But at the same time, I now feel like I can look beyond it and go, okay, you're just trying to make a connection. So it might be, you know, and I just experienced this with the grief wave that I went through. You know, you could bring up grief and then like someone else will, you know, almost feel like they got to top you with, oh yeah, well my so-and-so died too. And then this person, and that's like, you win, I guess. You know? But I think what it really is trying to do is just, it's a person who might be trying to say, I get what you're feeling because I have experienced something similar, or I do experience it similarly, but they don't know how to say what we're talking about. Like, oh man, that sucks. You know, they don't know how to be there with you in the moment without bringing their stuff to the table. Do you know what I mean?
Say yes, and
I know we're getting way off topic, but
no, we're never
like
off
it's
I'm
a
going to
really,
say yes,
really
and
interesting point.
I hear what you're saying about the grief, and people definitely do that. I'm also going to add in there, they can't be with you and your feelings there.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to go there. And it makes them nervous and scared. And that's where the little white lies come in. And that's where they turn it into themselves and hijack the conversation. Because it's uncomfortable for most people to just hold space for someone going through hell. Our society is not good at that.
Well, I don't think they know how to do that either.
They don't know how to do that.
They've never been taught how to do that.
Right.
So they turn it around on themselves because that's what they can talk about.
Okay,
yeah,
so I want to interject here for a second.
Just a thought.
Maybe. So many things I want to respond to.
I think that we all do this.
For sure.
All of us. You know, kind of go, oh, you know, this is happening for me too, you know, or whatever, or I felt that, or whatever. I certainly do that.
I never do that.
Yeah, I know you're amazing.
You're perfect.
But I mean, and I can hold space. I can do both. But I think I'm wondering if it has to do with what is the intention, and does that intention come across? Is it an intention to go, wow, I know what you're feeling, you know, perspective, you know, see let's compare our experiences from a kind of a 360-degree view and share together in a sense. Does that help? If not, if you just need somebody to listen to you, that's great. That's good to know, because then I can definitely shut up. On the other hand, I think when we're just sharing, it's and we've all done it. We all do it together too. It's like, you know, we just kind of commiserate together and go, yeah, this is, you know, we sort of, but then there's another way where, you know, people, you do, like Denise said, you have this sense of one-upmanship. Yeah. And that's an entirely different thing. And they may not be meaning to do that, or they may, you know, so kind of what's the intention?
What's the intention? Yeah, I love that. You know? That's a great pickup. Yep.
Like my mom, I never get to have my own feelings with my mom. She always like has to, you know, but is that my intention? I don't think that's her intention. I think she's trying to connect, like Denise said, you know, but that's never how it comes across, because it always feels competitive.
So no, I'm going to jump in there and say, no, she can't hold space for you because she cannot handle her daughter not being happy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what parent can handle their child not being happy?
It's always mom's fault. Mm-hmm. So for her to be able to hold space for you would be very difficult to have. I just did this I just talked to somebody about their dad not ever going to the hospital and not doing anything. And I'm like, yeah, my dad never did either. Like, they can't handle that. They can't handle their women not being, this is old school thinking, but they can't handle the women not being a 100% because they can't fix it. They're not a surgeon. They're not a doctor. They probably caused part of it. They don't even want to look at any of that, right? They can't even look at any of that. They probably caused a lot more than they thought they caused. But anyways, so that's where they can't handle that space. And it is not easy to hold space for other people when you are involved with what happened.
Or when you suspect they think you are, or whatever. Yeah.
Or you think you were. even without them thinking, like codependence, right? A codependent speaking here. I'm always involved in everything because that's just my nature. And that's hard. That was 5 minutes left. Thank you, Juan. Why are we talking? Okay. So within the 5 minutes that we have left, is there any poignant points that we want to make? Are white lies okay? Okay, they don't want to take a stand.
I think we have to decide who we're lying to, ourselves or the person, and why.
Right.
Okay, so is it okay just to help somebody make somebody feel better?
Well, see, I would want to put out that everybody gets to decide. It's so hard, right? Because I don't want to put a judgment and say it's this way or that way. Like, everybody needs to decide what's right for them.
Why would he lie to somebody to make them feel better if it's a lie?
Right? It can't. That's the whole point. It's not
well,
the truth.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not really up to me to make someone feel better. Like, it's kind of up to them to make themselves feel better. Right.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't agree to that. But I think that, if the truth does more harm than good, then that's something to consider, right?
And who says what's good, what's harm,
and
what's
why
good?
is it why is it your thought of what's good and what's not?
Well, right. I mean, I mean, if I know
they're all whole people,
judgment.
But again, I think it depends on who are you talking to, because yes, everyone, but it's like, is somebody in the mental state to accept what I might say, or are they not in the, is that going to be more harmful to them? Right. And so I think it's just going to require a deeper dialogue or more questions. I think, I don't think that it's a blanket yes or no. I mean, I know that's not what you're looking for, but
no, that's great. I think that's great.
There's so many variables, right? And so
there are, for me, I feel like it has to do with who. It might have to do with who you're talking to, who this person is, right? Like, if it's Joe Schmo who comes up to you off the street asking a question, like, hey, can you pay for my gas? It's like, I'm not going to sit and have a conversation. Well, technically I can pay for your gas because I have the money in my purse, but I'm choosing not to pay for your gas because of X, Y, and Z.
Give me your money.
I might just go no and move on, but that's a little white lie, right? Like, I can pay for his gas, or I can give him $5 or whatever. But I'm going to be more mindful. I'm going to be more thought produced. I'm going to think about it more if it's people who really matter to me, you guys and family, and like, that's going to be more important for me to think about. Well, gosh, if I say something or don't say something, is it going to affect or hurt them, or even myself? Like, you guys probably discussed, how things hurt yourself.
We have not discussed that, and we can't now because we have 2 minutes left. I'm going to give you all permission to tell me the absolute truth, no matter when I ask, no matter what's happening. I always want to know your truth. Even if you say,
I was just going to suggest that.
Even
I was going to say, we should do an experiment for a month.
Right. My truth
weeks.
is going to hurt your feelings right now. Do you still want to hear my truth? Like,
and that's a fair question. That's a fair question. And then allows someone to say yes or no, because sometimes.
And I will say no if I'm in that vulnerable state that I don't care what you think. I just need you to hold space for me and tell me how amazing I look in this dress, even though my ass is big. So, all right. We want to be able to do that. I love that. Okay. Last thoughts, Petalyn.
I love being able to tell somebody the truth. So like say an example for Denise's niece. Maybe you didn't sound great. Maybe you don't say that you sounded great. Just as an example, maybe we say, gosh, I can really hear how hard you worked on it, or something. So we can change the question to be really, in whatever the instance is. And
any of that. I love how you're playing right now. That is so awesome how you're playing right now. Okay, Karen.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say the same type of a thing.
Yeah.
That we actually have the ability to shift our answer in a way that is positive and reinforcing without being so specific to say, to lie, to say, oh my gosh, you're amazing. You should be, you should be on tour. As an example, right?
You can tell me that anytime. Okay, Denise, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I think for me personally, it's been really important for me to grow in my own personal growth of seeing who I am right now and how important it is for me to tell the truth, whether they're, like not to try to do what we're talking about instead of doing the little white lies, because it's helped me be more in integrity and more authentic for myself, being more honest and bringing in deeper connections, even when things are hard to say.
I love
and
it.
I feel good about cultivating a community.
Your minute's up, woman. Sorry.
Done. Jennifer, your turn.
No, that's perfect. I love it. Tell the truth. Screw the white lies. Tell the truth. You might want to ask before you tell them, but you got to tell them the truth. Forget the white lies. It doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't build connection. It doesn't build relationship. Brings up walls. Don't do it. Next thing is we're in our pajamas because we like to be in our pajamas. This is my hair thing on Instagram. I don't always look like this. Actually, I kind of do. And then I just wanted to explain that's why. We are being authentic, truthfully honest, and no white lies here. Awesome. Love you, love you, love you. Mwah. Check out the other episodes. And I hope you all can say I rock my finances because there ain't no lies in my house.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, every Thursday right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV. It's not about the zeros, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.